Hey y'all, new day, new verses. We continue on into Isaiah. Today we're going to be picking up with chapter 55, verses 8 and 9. Father God, thank you for your word. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you. It's just your perspective that you are greater. Thank you that you are over it all. Thank you that we can release it to you and find peace. Thank you that we can know that you are in control of it all. Bless you, Georgie. Thank you that you are our strength, our hope, sovereign hand. Thank you that you not only set the universe and all the creation in motion, but are still active and intimately involved. You never let a single one of us go. Thank you for meeting us where we are, taking us where we are made to be, and not caring how we look like when you find us. Simply receiving us as we are and welcoming us home. Be it the prodigal child or the brother who stayed put and forgot what it meant to love. Lord, lead the way. We worship you. Amen. Chapter 55, verses 8 and 9. My thoughts are nothing like your thoughts, says Yahweh, and my ways are far beyond anything you could imagine. For just as the heavens are higher than the earth, so my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. These verses are up there with Genesis 50:20 to me for being some of my favorite verses in the Bible. And 50:20, for those who don't know it, is Joseph talking to his brothers, and he's saying to them, what y'all meant for evil, the Lord meant for good. And that section there, like this verse, kind of are my favorites for the same reason. They're a perspective shift. It's the reason these are some of my favorite verses is because I spent my entire life trying to think I had to be the one to do it, to pull myself up by the bootstraps, to think that if I wanted to have the world play out that I wanted it to, make my own destiny, forge ahead, manifest destiny, make it, entrepreneurial, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not trying to reduce it in any way, shape, or form. I'm just trying to not have a 30-minute long video. I very much had that mentality, and I had the perspective shift that basically was treating like I was a god unto myself, not just from the ontological arrogancy and the condescension that just, I don't know how anyone managed to put up with me. We celebrated my graduating high school that they didn't, me, rather than the fact that I graduated, because I was that kind of putz. And it's only by God's hand that I'm not. I needed the perspective shift. Because everything I've gone through has shown me that his ways are not our ways and his thoughts are not our thoughts. Any more than a picture is a person, even in Time Lord art. That he does it very differently and does it entirely intentionally. Because in doing so, he can show off. Show off who he is, the nature of who he is. Not as, oh, look at me, I need the attention. But as a, hey, oh, I know that sunrise that you woke up for randomly and you weren't sure why, and you just caught it out of your window, and it just put everything into perspective for a moment. That stillness and the color and the beauty. I painted that for you. Hi. Have some time together. Those beautiful moments were just peace, bliss. Couldn't get any better. Like the rabbi said, slice of heaven, no? These are beautiful things. These are a gift. And they are but a foretaste. Just a minuscule, tiny thing. And it doesn't just remind me of that perspective here in the here and now of things like that, but also of the trials and the storms. See, before I broke my back and my neck, and if you've been here for a while, you know this one, so it's a short version. Short version. Before I broke my body, I didn't realize how broken my soul was. And I showed up to church every week, was part of this group and that group, and, worked on the back with doing the EQ stuff, and, then went to choir and blah, blah, I did all the things. I did the song and dance. I did the participation. But I wasn't doing it out of the right heart. Occasionally, yeah. And always seeking, but never quite okay with surrender. How would we need proof existence? So much doubt, so many questions. despite having every opportunity to recognize the math says someone's there. The intimate relationship moments says someone's there. The miracles upon miracles say someone's there. The meeting me every single time I couldn't make it, someone was there. In a moment of screaming out from pure pain of just burn my feelers and watch me squirm, you sack of... and feeling nothing but comfort. And a moment of laughter. Something that made me realize God not only has a sense of humor, it's far more important to be real than it is to be religious. Jesus said it himself, spirit and truth. And that he would invite us into the laughter, into the curiosity, into the joy, into the looking around, into all of the beautiful questions. Sorry, moving slightly so the air conditioner hits the cat better. That he invites us into this wonderful time with him. Just to be. Just to play. And more than the perspective of, like Joseph, of using a cistern and a couple of slave traders and a jailer, well, an Egyptian captain of the guard, and then a jailer and a cupbearer to save the whole world, not just Egypt, and help fulfill the prophecy that would lead to Jesus. The fulfillment of every prophecy, from the crusher, the seed of the woman who crushes the head of the snake, all the way to pierced for our transgressions, straight to they looked down and despised him, saw nothing of mine. Every single prophecy fulfilled in Yeshua of Nazareth. Took it all. And God's wonderful plan of so far above heavens of the earth, from our ways to his ways, that he would look outside of time and space and go, yep, my solution to the human condition, to fixing it all, is to become one and do what you can't. No precarious climb up, no dangerous descent down. Simply a stroll in the garden. Because even when invited up at the blast of a horn, too much fear? Okay, I'll come to you. Here's a tent. I'll meet you here. Israel, lost. Sheep without a shepherd. Okay, I'll come. I'll meet you here. Feed the hungry. Give sight to the blind, raise the dead. Ears to the deaf. Cure the lepers. Miracles that are still happening to this day in Jesus' name. Simply because he said it. And he is a promise keeper. That is who he is. The things I beautifully love about this, because this will be going out by the time it's Rosh Hashanah, so Happy New Year. But I love the beautiful invitation to understand that his way of doing it is different from our own. And if we would trust him, we can see incredible things. His plan for all people to be invited. His plan to do what we can. His plan to make a way. And that narrow gate is him alone. He is the gate. It's not many roads, it's only one. And I don't say that as a thumper, an angry person, or belittling. I say that from somebody who tried. Who has the textbooks, pretty much all of it. Has gone through pretty much all of it. Down to the stupid sticks. And the, dung things, as Ezekiel was put it. If you know, you know. Understand this. They don't work. There is only one path. Only one. Everything else ends in self-reliance. And we simply cannot pay that debt. We owe somebody something. The person we betrayed, that person we belittled, the cascade of events that some after there. Sin isn't just the event, it's the woven web of suffering we weave after. Person that was stolen from, well, now they know to trust everybody. They don't trust people as much. Well, maybe if it consistently happens, now they start hating this group of people. Oh, wait, now we've decided that we're going to just jump to conclusions. Well, now we're going to put up walls. We got on those walls, too. Suddenly, look. Warfare. Tragic day ending in war. It's not reducta ad absurdum. It's the history of some people on this planet. Hell, it's the history and story of some store owners in major cities all around this world. Because we have created a broken system. Because we have forgotten that people have value. It's sad. It is our choice. It has been for a while. But the good news is we can make a different one. And we can seek him. Seek him before he shows up and the answer is no longer, or the option is no longer there. The answer is no longer there to guess about. To see him clear dead in the face and go, oh, yeah, no, you are the sovereign Messiah of all creation. Oh. And to have that understanding bored into your soul in a way that cannot be refuted. Because there is much greater reward in store for those who believe without seeing. And it's not one of those, oh, yeah, it's more the, wow. The beautiful dance together. These ways of doing it are not our own. And that's a very good thing, because the history of humanity shows that our way of doing it is bloody and stupid. The oppressed become oppressors, everybody gets knifed, and eventually we define our own definition of good to the belittlement of somebody else. There's always going to be an other as long as humanity does it humanity's way. And God's response to that was to be, okay, I'll be the other. My blood first. Everybody wants to knife everybody. Okay. Y'all can knife me. So maybe if you knife me, you'll stop knifing each other. And maybe if a moment of running through innocent, you can understand why it's just as horrible to run through guilty. Especially when it's guilty that repents. It's not mercy required there. Is it not demanded? His ways are not just to create everything around us, but to keep creating. To weave little beautiful hints towards every facet of reality, to every group out there, of saying, here I am. And much like every prophecy, pointing narrow and narrow and narrow to it runs right back to Jesus. Right back to the one on whom time itself revolves. Unless you're using an ancient Chinese, unless you're using Chinese or traditional Chinese or ancient Chinese, either way, them and Hebrew, unless you're using those two calendars, AD, BC, or CE, BCE, EIEIO, pick an acronym, same timetable. Because of him. Not just because of, oh, he had this effect. No, he creates all of it. He is the source of gravity. He is the reason that time even exists. He weaves our very existence into being with but word. See Genesis. Light, time, space, reality, matter. Animals, plants, gravity. And for funsies, sea monsters. We'll get into that at one point. I'm looking forward to it. Because it'll walk a lot in the Bible, especially since it's more sea dragon. But anyway, back to here. All of it with word. Even Revelation. How does the end? When he returns? Sword in hand? Nope. Pre-bloodied, sword in mouth. Authority of word. is the one who speaks it has the authority and ability to stop speaking it, at which point it ceases to be. Which, to me, is a lot more sobering than the media view of hell that we've created. Not red pitchforks and a guy in pajamas, but continually celebrating, dancing, and doing darkness and the evil that goes with it, until we choose to be nothing left, and then become such. When the idol becomes the thing that takes over, until there's nothing left. It's a horrible thing to watch, and it's devastating, and if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about, whatever that might be. It's the repetitious cycle of man. We go for Ouroboros mode and end up dead because of it. And it's heartbreaking. And his solution is to step in, to speak life, to take the punishment instead, so that there is justice. Because there has to be, right? We don't want a God of injustice, we want justice. Justice, right? We wipe out everybody who's committed evil. We did that once. Didn't quite work with the flood. It's a perspective shift. Let's try something deeper, since the issue is in the heart. Perspective shift. It's not about random kings. It's about the Shmo, Avram. And we're going to turn him into a hell of a mensch. And he becomes the father of all nations. He said, no, it's not going to be by your doing. Put her back. He shouldn't have done that to Hagar. Nope, gonna be my doing. Isaac. Oh, it's gonna be Jacob. Why the heel grabber? To make a point. Why? Because you all don't seem to understand that every single one of you is thrashing out, desperate to become a seed of the snake. Because if I can define it for myself, then I can do anything I want. The problem is when we define it for ourselves and do anything we want, the worst sins imaginable become a Tuesday. Like, oh, it could never happen, a whole Pharaoh thing of sacrificing to you. Yeah, happened not long ago, yeah. Invaded Germany first, too. No, it's a common thing. It's the same motif in Judges. People do what is right in their own eyes. Nobody worships God. They worship themselves, or the state, or pick a religious fad, or pick an icon, or pick an image. They don't decide to go straight to the source of all life itself, who came in the form of a man who said, "Hi, yep, I know. I'll take the lash. I know. Not just the debt that other people owe you, but the debt you owe. I'll take them both. I'll forgive it all. Won't whitewash it. Won't okay it. Won't dismiss. Will forgive. A repentant heart. Its justice and mercy go hand in hand. True justice is to be merciful on the repentant. And to the heart that's not, we talked about Pharaoh last time for a reason. These verses are a reminder to have the perspective shift. So when we go through the trial and the storm, we know he's Jireh. But when we go through the insanity of life, of how can this chosen person be causing me all of this problem and pain, and the sibling that's causing all of this issue, this chosen, the person who's the favorite of HR or what, teacher's pet, pick or what have you. This person has main character syndrome, and I'm tired of playing backup. Well, why do you think of yourself as backup? Why not have a moment to see the beauty of life? Not be a carpet. Just take a moment. fail. Hurt people hurt people. It's not an excuse. It's a moment to ask, okay, God, what are you going to do with this? See him be true to his word. Because he'll use it all. Whether it be feeding the 5,000 or healing a couple of lepers. He acts in wonderful ways, and he does so out of love. And if we will seek him, know his face, especially while he is to be found, and understand that his way of doing it is not our own, we will see mighty miracles happen. Because he's not interested in drones, and he's not interested in people who all walk, talk, and quack the same way. He wants us to be united by his blood, not uniform like the Lord. And it's the beauty of it, because then there's muchness to play and to rejoice as we explore it all. Not casting down, always rising up. So we rise when we lift each other. And we do it like we did the crippled light. Rise by lifting each other. I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's hot, tired, probably rambling. Apologies there. At least the last minute or so. With short verse. We rise by lifting each other. People that went to Jesus, couldn't get in, took the roof off, lowered the man down. Hey, needs a hand. All of humanity lifted up by lifting each other. In this case, lowering a person down. But considering the connotation, you can understand why. Plus, it's kind of fun that God put it on the t-shirt for Cirque du Soleil. Because he's always speaking. Are we willing to listen? Seek while he's to be found, and understand his ways of doing it are not our own. May his favor be upon you. Know that you're loved.